Well, we made the decision to ride today. It's pretty warm. See how it all goes. Speaking of heat, we can touch on some couple personal tips I have for you guys to ride your motorcycle in hot weather. And today's, I think, 91, 92 degrees out. Some of my favorite things to help keep me cool riding in the hot heat. First thing you want to do is have gear on, right? Because most riders don't even have gear in the first place. They assume that it's hot out, the gear is going to make me too hot, so I'm just going to ride in a t-shirt and a hat and sunglasses, and that's going to get you killed. So don't be an idiot. Wear your gear. So the next step is to get gear that has some good features to help keep you cool. Like this jacket I'm wearing, you can see is mesh. It also has a bunch of zippers and vents and stuff that you can open up and allow that air to come in and blow through. Usually gear will have zippers in the front to like intake the air, and then zippers in the back to as an exhaust to let the warm air get out. That'll help get some airflow blowing through, help keep you nice and cool. You can get those same kind of features in your pants as well. So I think even some boots nowadays will have like some little vent zippers that you can zip down and let some airflow in, keep your feet cool. Gloves have these little like vents and stuff in there. Like you can see the ones in my knuckles right here on my fingers. Each of those is like a little air vent. So when your hands are in this riding position, gripping the bars, it's letting all that air kind of suction right up in there. Keep your fingers and hands cool. Along with the rest of your gear, your helmet usually will have some kind of air vents that you can open up. I think mine, this one I'm wearing right now, is the Icon Airmada, if I remember correctly. But it's got several air vents, hence the name, to allow for a lot of airflow, keep your head cool. Another tip is to bring a big old filled up water bottle full of nice cool water. I have a backpack on right now and I have a full water bottle in there, some nice cool filtered water. At any point I can pull over, take a little pit stop and get something to drink. Wearing all this gear, even if it's mesh and vented for temperature control, you can still definitely get very warm riding around out here when it's really hot. So having water on hand is crucial. And sometimes I'll even carry multiple bottles with me. If I break down out here and I gotta walk down the road for an hour or go get gas or something like that, I want to definitely have some water. Another tip, if you do carry a water bottle, if you do pull over and take breaks and pit stops and go through your water, have kind of a midway point or a turnaround point picked out. So today, for example, I'm going to visit my buddy. I'll get to his place, I'll drink a bunch of my water, and then before I leave his place and start heading my way back, I'll make sure and refill my water. That way I know I have a full bottle for the way back. Meep, meep. Along with carrying that water bottle, another tip to help you on really hot days and riding in the heat is to make sure and take some breaks. So it feels really good right now. I'm riding, doing about 60, 65. I have some good airflow coming through my mesh gear and my vents. I don't need to just sit out here and ride continuously for 4 hours in the heat. I can have planned times to pull over or just impromptu times, right? If I'm cruising along, if I'm starting to feel a little bit hot, find a little gas station or a grocery store or something like that, pull over, go inside the grocery store. Most of them have the AC kicked on, feeling real good. And just walk around in the grocery store for, you know, 5-10 minutes. Cool your body temperature down, cool your head down, maybe refill your water there, get something else. But take breaks, take lots of breaks, as many breaks as you need. You don't just have to get out here and ride, so pay attention to your own body and your head, how you're feeling. Do little periodic check-ins with yourself and ask yourself, how am I feeling? Am I feeling hot? Am I feeling dizzy? Is my head hurting? Is my attention span kind of diminishing? Those are good indicators that you're probably getting a little bit of fatigue and exhaustion from the heat, and it's time to make a change. Switch it up, take a break, go kick it in the AC and drink some cool water. So along with good gear for hot weather, a full water bottle, and taking frequent breaks while riding in the heat. Another good tip for riding in the heat is probably just to have a good awareness, educate yourself on the indicators and symptoms of heat exhaustion, heat stroke, dehydration. If you know what to look for and what the symptoms are, then as soon as they start coming on, you start feeling those things, then you can be aware that, hey, I'm probably dehydrated, I'm probably too hot, and then you can make an adjustment. So familiarize yourself with that stuff. There's always these little acronyms and good learning lessons. Like if somebody's having a stroke, there's like a little acronym that you can use to remind you of the symptoms, so that if they're exhibiting all those symptoms, you can deduce that, hey, you're having a stroke. And then you can know not only the indicators, the symptoms, the awareness of it, but then have the education and the ability to manage it and do something about it and help them or help yourself. You can self-diagnose, right? If my speech started slurring and, you know, all the symptoms of a stroke, I could be like going down that mental checklist myself as it's happening and be like, hey, I think I'm having an issue. And then I could take steps to help myself. If it's happening while I'm riding a motorcycle, then I could either look for a emergency room right nearby, or pull it off and try to signal another motorist for help. If you have a cell phone, you can call 911, have someone come bring some help to you. Another great tip to ride your motorcycle in the heat is to make sure your motorcycle is equipped to ride in the heat. Not only do you want to be comfortable, healthy, feeling good, but you want to make sure your bike has plenty of oil, coolant, all that good stuff to keep it cool and functioning well in the warm conditions. If you don't have coolant or fresh coolant or adequate level of coolant, bike can overheat, leave you stranded, and then you're walking in that hot heat. So make sure you and your machine are both good to go for those warm conditions. If you have an air-cooled bike, then you're gonna have a little bit more of a challenge on hot days. If you're riding, it's not a big deal because you have airflow going, it's cooling down the motor. But if you're coming to a stop in 95-degree temperatures and waiting for a prolonged period of time in traffic, then you're definitely gonna risk overheating your motor. And so a lot of bikers will turn their bike off while they're at a stop and then turn it back on when it's time to go. If you're in stop and go rush hour traffic, then it's really gonna do a number on your motor as far as temperatures go. But if you have a liquid cooled bike, then it's going to be a much easier, more forgiving experience. That coolant's going to help keep your engine running at optimal temperatures, cool temperatures, despite the hot heat.